G'day guys, Toz20 here and welcome back to City Skylines Industries. Since the last tutorial, I've been expanding the industrial areas of Dollar Town, and we now have a variety of different products being produced in the city. But I think it's about time I take it up a notch and start plopping down some unique factories. So the unique factories require multiple resources to produce unique goods. Basically, the further up you go, the more resources needed to produce those goods. I think I'm going to start with a furniture factory. It only requires planed timber and paper, which I know I'm producing quite a lot of in this area. I think I'm going to put it down halfway between the forestry industry and the city, because ultimately you want those products to be on the shelves as quick as possible. When I click on the factory, I can see I need plain timber and paper in order to make the furniture. I need both those items in the factory at the same time in order to start producing anything. And at the moment, I have neither, so I'm just waiting for a truck to make its first delivery. Alright, so now we're actually starting to make some furniture and some money. I might actually start increasing the production rate so that we can start getting it out a little bit faster. Though I'm just going to be careful of the upkeep per week, and also if I can keep up with the demand of timber and paper. To keep up with that demand, I'm going to put down a couple of warehouses that will store just plain timber and paper, so that there's always resources close to the factory. And while we're at it, let's add another unique factory to the area. This time I'm going to go with a toy shop, as it uses pretty similar resources, though it does need plastics, which is being produced all the way down the other side of the map, so I do need to also put down a warehouse that specializes in plastics. And in a nutshell, that's how you get your unique factories running in your city. Though these are the most basic and easy ones to use, they get a lot more complicated and tricky to manage down the track. You'll see me fail at those ones. I'll see you then. In today's tutorial, we're going to check out the production chain feature, which allows us to customize and manage the way that industry flows in the city, from harvesting raw resources all the way up to the production of luxury and special goods. I'm going to start with my forestry industry. I'm harvesting raw forest products and I'm storing it within this little storage unit. Though I can see it's getting pretty full, so I'm going to expand it by adding a couple more storage areas. And you can actually see the raw forest products being transported to the storage units. But at this stage, we're only exporting that raw products. We're not actually exporting anything extra. So I'm going to add a sawmill, which takes the raw resources and turns it into plain timber. And now my city is producing raw forest products and plain timber. To make sure that there's always enough resources on hand and that we're not overstocking, I'm going to place down some more storage. And of course, if you're anything like me, don't forget to waste all your money placing down some trees. The cool thing about the production chain is that it doesn't actually have to be within the industrial area to function. I'm going to make another industrial area closer to the city, and this one's going to focus on producing paper. And to make sure there's a nice flow from the production of the paper to it sitting on the shelves of the shops, I'm going to place a warehouse down the road in the heart of the city that's going to focus on the storage of paper. And that way, trucks don't have to go all the way into the forest to find the paper, they can actually just go to a warehouse that sits already in the city. And I'm going to do the same for my oil industry by painting down an industrial area where oil is needed the most in the city. And I'm going to place down another warehouse. This time, it's going to focus on storing plastics as part of the oil production chain. And honestly, that is me scratching the surface of the production chain in the new DLC. I'll get into more of it in the next episode. See ya. Expansion Pack Industries. My name's Toz20 and I'm collaborating with Paradox Interactive to bring you guys some tutorials on the newest DLC. Now, before I get started, let me introduce you to my city that I've been working on over the last couple of weeks. This is Dollar Town, pretty happy with it, but I think it's about time I started expanding out the industrial areas. With the Industries Expansion Pack, you have access to 4 industrial areas: forest, farming, ore, and oil industry. For your industrial area to function correctly, you first need to find the natural resource that matches your industry. In this case, I'm building a farm, so I need to find some fertile land somewhere on my map. Once I've found the best place, I can then paint down the industrial area just like I would a regular district or a park area. To turn your industrial area into the correct industry specialist, you then need to go to the garbage and industry icon, find the correct industry, so I'm going to farming, and then you need to place down a main building. And what that does, it turns that area into the correct industry area. And now that I've done that, I've got access to all the other farming buildings that I can start placing down. You might actually notice that none of these are zonable. All these buildings are ploppable, and they all are intertwined and work together within the production chain, which I'm going to get into in the next episode. But basically all these sort of work together, and they're really important as part of the industry. And I'm going to do the same process for the other industrial areas wherever I can find any natural resources on this map. I'm going to be placing down the industrial area district and watching that industry grow. But that's pretty much it for this tutorial, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.